What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a reaction on what Allegri had to say post game slash the player ratings, because I didn't had the energy to do just the player ratings, because actually what Allegri had to say post game was more worthy to talk about than the player ratings. But I will do player ratings. I will do that in this video. But I'm gonna start off with talking about what Allegri had to say pre-game, post-game, excuse me, because that was quite a lot. And Del Piero chipped in, and Locatelli chipped in, and it's all over the place basically. So that's what we're gonna talk in this one. Before we get into it, push the like buttons. Let's get to 85, and also subscribe to the channel, and then let's jump straight into it. Okay, so we lost. I think that's that's clear now. Um, like about the game, I think we talked about that, but the post game of Allegri was all over the place, and it was all over the place because you had Locatelli saying certain things, Del Piero chipped in, but even Allegri talking smack about himself. I guess he was saying one thing, and then a few minutes later said something that didn't add up with what he just said. So the like he was very defensive in that post game. He was on a point, and he was very close to say, "You guys come coach them," basically, which you can never do as a coach. You cannot make that as an excuse. You guys come do it if you know better, because at that point, if you come out with that, and he was extremely close to do that, you're already lost. And it's probably dumb for you. So he was very close to doing that. But the first thing he said, and that was crazy, because he was asked about Chiesa and Yildiz, and he said, "Why not play them together?" And he was like, "I thought about it, but playing them together would be a risk." And I was like, "What risk was there? We were losing the game. It was 1-0. I think he forgot the score. It was 1-0 for Inter. There was no risk. You're gonna lose that game with risk or without a risk. And you know what? We lost that game. And we were always gonna lose that game. If you did not, like, without any risk, you were just gonna lose that game. There was no shot, no chance. I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. What risk? It was 1-0 to Inter. There was no risk. Like, you needed to take risk to actually get back into that game. So I'm not sure what he was actually talking about there. And actually afterwards he said we need to be more aggressive. He said we need to be more. Wait, let me see, because I wrote it down. Um, Once behind, we need to be more aggressive. And I'm like, yeah, but you just told us that you didn't want to take any risk bringing on Chiesa and keeping Yildiz on the pitch. So you're not being aggressive, are you? Because if you think the same guys are gonna change their game plan, whatever, you're crazy. You're actually crazy. He says one thing, and then a few minutes later he says we need to be more aggressive. But you just said you didn't want to take any risks. So how do you expect this team to be more aggressive? To make like for like subs? That's not gonna make you more aggressive. That's maybe gonna give you a moment, a flash from a player, but that's not aggressive. Like, you're not gonna be more aggressive. So I'm not sure what he was trying to say there. Um, so I'm not sure about that. And then he talked about the Champions League again, and like, nobody wants to hear that crap right now. Like, stop it. Just absolutely stop it. You were in a title race, something you are. That's the talk. Nobody wants to hear about the top four race. Like, this is embarrassing. Like, actually, this is embarrassing. You just lost to Inter, and you were in title race. Because afterwards, he gloats about nobody thought we would be in this position. But you are in this position, and that means you go for it. And you own up to it. Don't come after the game and talk about Champions League spots and all that absolutely rubbish. Have you seen the other teams behind you competing for fourth place? Are you gonna tell me we need to worry about that as well? Like, is that the signal? Is that, I don't know. I don't get why he keeps talking about top four. Like, top four is default. Have you seen the top four race? I don't know how many points. How many points do we have on top four? I need to check that now, because I think I'm going crazy. So we have 39. Wait, Atalanta have 39. So to actually Bologna have 36. So you are. Do they have 36? They have 36. You have 17 points more than Bologna sitting in fifth, and you are talking about we need to think about top four. We need to get back on the saddle and focus to get top four. You're 17 points clear, for God's sake. Are you telling me we need to worry about top four? Nobody wants to hear that after you just lost a game and you were in a title race. Accept it. Just accept the fact. We credit you for it. You got us back into it, basically. We were in a title race because of you. You're part of it. Then own up to it. That's all we ask. Top four race, we're 17 points clear. Like, what top four race are we talking about? Are you telling me we need to worry that you're going to waste 17 points in the next, I don't know, 15 games or so? Is that what you're telling me? Because I'm not sure what he keeps bringing it up. It's ridiculous now. And especially after you lose a game against Inter. That's decisive. It's unbelievable. It's actually unbelievable. And then he went on saying, wait, let me bring it up. You had Del Piero then chipping in, and he said something more is needed in direct clashes, and today Inter showed that. That's what we have always been saying. Like, the approach is okay, but against these big teams, you need to take more risks. You absolutely need to do that. You're not gonna win these games playing like we do. It's just not gonna happen. It's gonna stop. There's no shock. There's no surprise. It's just what the expectation is. At one point, it's done. At one point, Inter are like, when people say, "Oh, you never thought we were gonna win the title." I never said we are gonna win the title, nor do I expect us to win the title. But we're in this position now. You need to go for it. You need to show something more, and that's what I've always been saying. Like, if we get the points, and I said I'll take it. But at the end of the season, if I'll sit back and I said, yes, the points are there, but the improvement on the pitch is not good enough to build on. Like, the mindset is good enough, but the idea of football is not. It's just not sustainable to go back and win like serial winners. Be the real Juve again. Excuse me. Then we have an issue. Then what are we doing, basically? The Piero's right. In these games, you need to show something more. You need to go for it. You need to take some more risk, and we didn't do that. We absolutely did not do that. He made it very clear he was not willing to do that when he said about it's a risk to play Yildiz and Chiesa together. And then he says we need to be more aggressive. We were losing 1-0 with 50 minutes to go. What risks are there? That you're going to concede a second one? Who cares? You're going to lose that game anyway. If it's 1-0 or 2-0, nobody gives you know what. You are losing that game. You were losing that game. You needed to win that game, and you told us you were not willing to take any risk. And that's shocking. That's very weird and very strange, you know. Then he said, I don't know when we win the Scudetto again, but we need to pick up points to play for the Champions League. And I'm like, forget about that. Like, just forget about that. Stop repeating it 10 times in a presser. Stop it. We're 17 points clear or something. And maybe I miscalculated. I don't know. Even if it's 10 points, it shouldn't be an issue. Like, it should not be an issue. This is actually crazy talk. At this moment in time, this is actually crazy talk. Just talk about the game, accept it, say we're not good enough, you know. And he said that, and just admit I needed to do more. Give the players more an opportunity to actually go for it, change something because it was not working what you're trying to do. And then he does like for likes. He brings Alexander in from 5 minutes ago. What was the point about that as well? Like, what was the point? He brings Alcaraz in for like 2 garbage time minutes. Like, what is that all about? Like, I don't get it. Then Del Piero talked about Yildiz, you know, basically making gestures about, you know, where is everybody? Because it's me and Vlahovic up there. It's no shock because that's who we are. You know, we chose one way to go, and you need to deal with it now. And you know, even Del Piero is like, okay, it's clear now, and you're putting, like, everybody's talking about Vlahovic's first touch. It was rubbish, but that's not why we lost that game. We lost that game because Inter had more. That's why we lost. If Vlahovic had a better touch, good. If Di Marco had a better touch in the first half, we would not be talking about that Vlahovic touch. Or Thuram did not forget Bremer was still defending there. Or Chesney was there. Like, people are going to pinpoint on a Vlahovic touch. When those things happen to the best, it happens. He needed to better. That was a rubbish touch. I'm not gonna deny that, but that cannot be the takeaway of that game. If that's the takeaway of the game, then oh boy, we are in big trouble. Like we are in big trouble if that's what you're gonna pinpoint, out of that game. And then you have Locatelli coming out saying we have to accept it. Being aggressive will bring results. I don't fully agree with that. However, we need to be more aggressive. It's a fact. We're very stale. We play like cowards at times. We do. Like we do. We're scared to take any risks, excuse me. And that reflects like the players are not that. The players do what they're asked to do. And the players being put out there have limitations. But he was trying to bring Junior on, and then he switches to Alexandro and Miretti. Pointless as well because the game was over. Like he doesn't take risks. It was 1-0 with 50 minutes to go. Do something. Bring in Junior. Bring in Alcaraz. Try something. Like you were gonna lose that game. We were not gonna get. So we could have played for 1,000 minutes like that. We were not gonna score a goal. That was just very obvious. Actually, the only thing that would have happened, we would probably concede a goal because at one point Chesney was not gonna save them all. That was the only thing that was gonna happen. And then he said Juve is facing difficulties due to changing 15 players since my arrival, around a dozen of them born after 2000. It's a path that needs to be taken with complete serenity, whether one likes it or not. I accept that we have some youngs and all, but a lot of these players are not that poor. They're not that poor. Kostic was absolutely rubbish again. Who plays Kostic every single week? Not me. Not the fans. That's you. Like you have other options. If you keep going with them, that's you. Do not complain about that. But yeah. And then he ended up saying, and that one was said, if someone thinks that Juve has to win the championship this year, they certainly have more ability than me in reading the path of a team. Nobody said that we needed to win the champions. The Scudetto. Nobody was asking that, not me, anyone, but that's not the point of the discussion. I'm not mad that we're not winning. Like I'm disappointed that we're not going to win it, but that's not what I'm mad about because I've accepted that Inter are the better team and us winning us means that Inter would have an epic collapse. That's why we're going to win it, and it's probably not going to happen. So I'm not mad about that. I'm realistic. I'm mad about not taking risks, not trying to change the way we play. Even when we are in difficulties, even when the game is lost, you still stick to the most boring and coward of tactics because that was cowardly. Like the approach was that of a coward. Even when we were 1-0 down, we never went for it. And he made that clear with his Yildiz and Chiesa statement. That's my issue. That's the biggest issue I have. But what's there to say? That's what we've been talking about for so long. Now I'll do the player ratings. I don't have any graphics for it because I'm whatever, it's too much today. I will go with Chesney. I will give him a 9, whatever, because he was unbelievable. Like that could have been 3, easy, like very easy 3, and he saved us many times. He did. So I'll give him a 9. Danilo, Bremer, I'll give them both 7.5. I thought they had very good games. I thought Bremer was also at fault for that first goal, but that player comes from midfield. Rabiot, all those players, nobody picks him up, and then Rabiot was Bremer's kind of also in nobody's land. And but other than that, he saved us a lot. Danilo, I thought he had a very good game. Picked up a yellow for no good reason. Now he's suspended for Udinese. Still not sure why that was a yellow. That was a clean tackle, but they had a good game. Gatti, I'm not gonna blame him for the own goal because that's just unfortunate. It was just gonna happen in that situation. Like it was very difficult. Like I don't blame him for the own goal. It's unlucky. It's him again, but in a nutshell, I don't think he had a good game. He was late with some interventions, stepped out, got caught out a couple of times, especially in that first half. Second half, Inter didn't really go for it unless it was on counterattacks, but I don't think he had a good game. So what did I say? I'll give him 5.5. I don't think he had a good game, but that own goal, it is what it is. I don't really blame him for that. Cambiasso, 5.5. I don't think he was good. like in the first half he was playing midfield and McKennie was on the left, but in the second half he was picking up many positions, but it was not coming off, and then he almost lost the ball in front of the box. That's what I said in my preview. I praise you, but now you need to show up. I need a big time performance, and that was a very poor performance from him. So I'll give him 5.5. I don't think it was good. McKennie, I'll give him 6.5. I thought he had a good game, especially in that first half. He was our best player, which is an issue in my opinion because he's still limited. But overall, I thought he had a very good game. Nothing to gloat about, but I thought he was one of the best players on the pitch. With Bremer and Danilo and Chesney, Locatelli. Um, 6. I don't think he had a poor game, but also not an outstanding game. Second half was better. He had some more control on it, but yeah, it wasn't shocking. It wasn't amazing. So I'll give him a 6. Rabiot, 5. That was rubbish. I know he came back from injury, but oh boy, that was absolutely brutal for him. Like in the second half, there was a moment he was just giving the ball away for fun. He was getting him back, and he was just giving him away. He was poor, and he takes so many touches on the ball before he makes a decision, and it slows everything down. It's frustrating to watch. It really is very frustrating to watch. He was like injury or no injury, you play 90 minutes, and that's something else. Allegri sitting there, just help Rabiot out and sub him off. He was not good at all. He was giving the ball away, making the wrong decisions. He was just poor, man. 5. Kostic, 5.5, 5, whatever. Not good. In the first half, he was okay defensively, but there's no crossing. He doesn't beat his man. It's very stale. And then you have Allegri talking about risks and be more aggressive. I'm like, you pick certain players. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. He talks about, I have so many youngsters and all those things, but okay then, give them a shot, I guess. I'm not sure what he's looking in Kostic at this moment in time because he offers nothing to the team. He just offers absolutely nothing. So I'm not sure what he's looking for in Kostic. But yeah, 5.5. Pick it. Vlahovic, 5.5. I don't think he had a good game. Link up play in the second half was a bit better, but that first touch, if he just controls that easily like he should, maybe that's 1-0, but that's not why we lost the game. But still, you need to do it, and this was it, and you didn't do it. But I'll keep saying it. That was all. That was all. My preview said you better take that one chance, otherwise you will get slated. Other than that, there was absolutely nothing for him the entire game. Like nothing, or for anyone else, for that matter. So 5.5. Yildiz, I think this first 15 minutes were a bit, overwhelming, but then he just picked up the pockets again, linked up play well, but it's tough, man. Like Del Piero said, like he acknowledged that, he was looking at Yildiz, and Yildiz was looking around, he was like, just help us out here, you just leave me and Vlahovic up here. It's not going to be easy against 3, 4, 5 defenders from Inter. Like, it's just not going to happen. So, I don't know, I'll give him a 6, maybe, just because I think he picked up the pockets well, linked up play, okay, but there was nothing for him or Vlahovic. There was absolutely nothing for them to play on, which was very frustrating. Weah, 6, maybe. I don't know. Like, he brought something else, but he didn't beat his man, and that was needed, and it didn't happen. So I'm not sure about that. Chiesa as well. There's no impact, and that's what I said. It's not about Chiesa. It's about Yildiz. You do like for likes. That was not the issue. Like you put Chiesa out, Yildiz out, and you plugged in Chiesa. Nothing's changed. Like nothing was gonna change. I could have told you that before you make that sub. It was just not gonna happen. That was not the point. That was not the reason why we're not winning or playing well. Getting out Yildiz for Chiesa. That was not gonna do the trick. Absolutely no chance. That was very obvious to see. And you have Allegri post game saying, "I didn't want to take any risk." Well, was this any better? Because you didn't take any risk and you didn't get any reward as well. Then Sandro, Miretti, and Alcaraz. Yeah, no, I'm not sure what those subs were about. Especially the Sandro one with 2-3 minutes ago. That was utterly ridiculous. But it is what it is. That's it for me. I'm gonna let you guys in the comments discuss what it is, and then we will go from here. We will do a live show later today, and then we'll see where the other games, the next game brings us. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys later. Ciao.